Hey everyone, just let me know in the chat section if you are live. Can you hear me? Just let me know in the chat section once, and then we can proceed. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? All right. So it looks like we are live. So hey everyone, welcome to yet another live stream. We'll be solving more LeetCode problems today based on data structures and algorithms. And last time we were solving questions on trees, and we had not solved, I think, recover binary search tree. This was still left. We were solving few medium problems. So we will start with this problem in today's live stream. And then we will see if we want to continue solving more tree problems or whether we want to change the topic. So before we move forward, this live stream is again sponsored by educative.io, which has a collection of well-written, crafted courses for software developers. Let me just bring it back. So thanks to educative.io for sponsoring today's live stream. It's a collection of well-written, crafted courses for software developers. They cover a plethora of skills covering from AWS, Docker, system design, coding interviews, React, Docker, Kubernetes, and a lot of things. So if you're interested and want to check more, I would also want to mention that if you are viewing their React course, they have not only tutorials, but also they have inbuilt workspaces. So you don't have to, waste your time in installing things. You just write code in browser, run it, and you can see the result over there. Even in their coding interview, data structure algorithm based tutorials, they have inbuilt multiple language support for their code editors in which you can write code and test whether it passes the test cases. They also have tutorials covering a lot of various data structures algorithms, and they cover a variety of problems in each of them. So it's a good website, and I would definitely recommend you to check this out. And if this looks interesting, instead of buying all courses, you can check Educative Unlimited, which is nothing but you buy all the courses at once by a subscription kind of thing. So they have annual and monthly plans. However, if you use the coupon Rachit, you get additional discount on top of 40% that they have for India, and you will get extra 10% off. So make sure to use the coupon Rachit or go to educative.io/Rachit. All right, now with that in place, let me move this. Now we do not need this on the screen. And let's start solving few problems. So a lot of people are saying DP in the comment section. So I think after trees, we can probably do a bit of DP if that's what you want. And guys, if you are already live, make sure that you hit the bell icon and also, hit the like button first of all on the live stream. I think we have very few likes right now and a lot of people are online. So let's start. All right, you are given the root of a binary search tree where exactly two nodes of the tree were swapped by mistake. We have to recover the tree without changing its structure. Okay, so you mean we just have to. A follow-up is a solution using order and space is pretty straightforward. Could you devise a constant space solution? Like these kind of problems really, trouble your mind a lot. Like when you know something is happening, you have written a neat, nice code that is working. However, just do it in constant space and all those things. But yeah, let's see. So this is a BST. However, 1 and 3 are swapped because 3 is greater than 1 and it's coming to the left. So it's a violation. And you swap these and 312 becomes the right thing. Okay, so we do not have to return anything. We have to modify the root. So basically, we have to change the tree itself to fix this violation that we have. Similarly, over here, they are saying that 3 and 2 are violation because 2 is greater than 3. However, it's coming in the right subtree. So they swap the value and now it's fixed. So how do you figure out that this is not right? So there will be exactly two nodes which are having such violations. And if you swap them, everything gets fixed. Um, so I think if you use the in-order traversal, you should get a sorted array. However, since uh, basically two values will be swapped, because of which they will not be in right places and they will be the points of uh, violations. For example, if you look at the in-order traversal for this, in-order is basically go left and print the value and then go right. So you only print the value when the left subtree is completely over. So when you start the in-order traversal from 3, you go left, it's a leaf node, you print 1, then you print 3, then you go right, but before printing 4, you go left, so you print 2 and then you print 4. Something like this, I think, right? Left and then go right, yeah. So you will go 1 and then that's exhausted, you print 3 because you are going right, yeah, 1, 3, 2, 4. So over here, swapping these two is working. Okay. So we can see clearly that here is a violation which is happening, right? Between 3 and 2, because it's not anymore sorted. If let's say, however, it was something like 2, 5, 10, 19, 34, and 55. If this was the in-order traversal of a tree, and when you do the swapping, the new in-order becomes, let me just minimize this. So if you swap, let's say, uh, 10 and 34, what happens is you get 2, 5, 34, 19, 10, and 55. Now over here, what do you see? You see that this is one place where there is a fault, right? Similarly, over here you were seeing this is the fault. So here you are seeing this is one fault. 19 is smaller than 34. And then here is another fault of 19 and 10. Okay, all right. So you have to find the violations where it's happening. In this case, there are two violations because I separated the pointers which were not which were in separate locations, because 10 is coming here and 34 is here. So you'll get two pairs which will do the violation. Why? Because when this is going backwards, it will definitely cause a violation, and when this is coming forward, this will also cause a violation. So okay, so when you do the in-order traversal and you get to the violation, the first pair will be XY, and the second pair will be something like LR. And in the first pair, the first element is at the wrong position because it's going backwards. And in the second pair, the second element is the violation. In this case, if you will see, the violation is at 3419. So 34 is the one that is at wrong place because it went from this point backwards. So this is the point where it's wrong. And the next violation was 1910, and over here 10 is the mistake. So you swap 10 and 34. Okay. So you have to find the two pairs and then swap X and R. And you have to do everything in one place. You don't have to return anything. And this is an array we want to do in terms of pointers. So basically we need to know the pointers to 10 and 34 and swap their values and return the root node. So that's what we have to do. Um, and if you only find one pair, you basically swap both of these values, as we are seeing in this one. 3 and 2, they were like happening um, just one after the other. So because of that, when you have just one pair, you swap both of them. All right. Do we have any comments in this set? Any comments so far, guys? Someone is asking, do I get disappointed if I get yeah, sometimes it happens, but like when you are solving problems, instead of focusing on disappointment, it's going to add more negativity in your mind and you will perform not up to your potential. So at that point of time, it's actually very important to just focus on solving the problem. All right, so how do we have a clean implementation for this? That's what I'm thinking. So first of all, how does in order works? Let me write the code for that. So for in order, how it works is, and can I like remove this? I don't, yeah. So for in order, how it works is nothing but you have access to the root pointer, or you can say the current pointer. And what do you do in order, pre-order, post-order? In order is saying that it's in between. So what you do is you do the DFS to the left, and since it's recursion, it means going all the way to the left. When you go to the left, you call DFS on that. It will again go left, 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 left until it reaches a leaf node, and the left pointer is null. So for that, you can say if cur is null, return. Don't do anything. And when you have exhausted the left subtree, it's time to process the current value. And then you can go to the right. So this is the in-order traversal. And over here, I want to find the point of. So basically, what you can do is you can have a vector int over here, r, and over here you can say r is empty, and then you can call DFS on root. And then now r is the in-order traversal, but now we can find uh, the the two pointers where the conflict is happening. So instead of this, we can actually keep a pointer. And over here, how do we process this? You can say add dot push underscore back current pointer. We push the current pointer to the array. And now over here, we have the in-order traversal, and you need to find the violation points. And I think we are good to go. So we need two violation points. The first one, and then the second one, right? And now we can iterate on. Actually, let's use I equal to 0, I is less than I dot size, I plus plus. Um, Actually, let's put it -1. And then what over here, what we can do is if r of I, right? If r of I is greater than r of I minus 1. And what do I mean by this is the dot val, right? So this is not in ascending order anymore. It should be I plus 1. Break violation found. So over here, what we can do is we can say that if it's actually first equal to second equal to null. Now what we can do is if first is still null, then we can say first is r of I, and I think second can be always r of I plus 1. So if we have just one pair of violation, the second will still be initialized correctly, because the first one we always wanted to be in this fashion. All right, so after this, what you can do is you can swap the values. So you can say that swap arr of I dot val, and these are pointers, so this should be actually arrow operator, right? And you can do the swapping of these two. Sorry, the first and the second. Um, or if we simply want the values, what we can do is int first is -1, second is -1. Hopefully the values in the array are negative, I think. Okay, so it can have negative values. So this wouldn't work. Let me use this thing only. So yeah, so what I'm saying is over here, now you can do the swapping, and then you can return the head or root. So if I try to run this, I should comment out all this jargon that I had put here. Okay, so we do not have to return anything, my bad. All right. Someone is saying that we are not supposed to use extra space. Yeah, I know we are not supposed to use extra space. Right now, I'm like, first making sure that this is fine. In terms of interviews, when you explain something like this, you get a confirmation from the interviewer that, okay, your approach sounds good. Can you now move to the code? Since I do not have that right now, I'm just making sure first that this is working fine or not, which I think it should. Where do I see the solution now? Yeah, so this is working fine. So our algorithm is correct. Now, of course, we are using space. We are having a vector. We do not need this actually. Uh, so this can actually be moved outside. And then, and this logic can also go outside, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So instead of this now, we do not have any array. How do I process this? So what I'm saying is, if first is null, and I think I need the previous pointer ends when, yeah. So I need a previous pointer. So if first is null, and um, let's call it previous pointer, and so I just need the immediate. Uh, okay, so I think something like this. So I'm just trying to optimize this and remove the array. So I want to get hold of the previous pointer that I had. Right. Yeah. Correct. I think it should be here. And previous pointer is also not equal to null. And previous pointer, the value at that and uh, is greater than the current, right? Current value. So I think this is the violation. And over here, what we can say is first is previous pointer, if it makes sense. So I'm getting the previous. Yeah, I do think it makes sense. Um, what else can we say? I think it's better to move this inside. So we can say if previous pointer is not null and the previous pointer's value is greater than the current value, then it's a violation. It shouldn't have happened. So now we can say that if first is null, then first is this, and always you can say that second is square. I think this should work. After this, we do not need this. Let's see if this is working. Air is no longer there. Okay, what's happening? Can member access with a null pointer of type? Okay, okay, we are okay. So this should happen after we do the DFS, right? So that is my bad. This should happen before. Okay, so this is accepted, and let's submit this and see if it's working. Okay, So it's working on that, but it's falling on some edge case. Let's try to see if we can figure this out. Uh, we do not have duplicates, right? So if cur is null, then return. Then we are saying DFS cur left. And over here, um, I think the previous pointer is not being calculated correctly. Is that the case? Oh yeah, definitely it's not being correct. Yeah, I think it should be here, I guess. Okay, let's think for a while. So when I'm going to the right child, yeah, the previous pointer is the parent, right? Yeah, it should be here, I believe. All right, so we have removed the array, we have removed the extra space, and now it seems to work. Um, why I have put this here is, and like the intuition that I had to put it over here is, think about the case when you're doing the DFS and you are moving from this node to this node. Basically, from parent node, when you're going to the right, the previous is this, right? 2 is the previous thing. And if you set it after calling the DFS to the right, then it will be very late, right? So before going to the right, you make sure that the previous pointer is being updated correctly. All right. Do we have anything in the chat section? Any doubts? Okay, the problem link, my bad. So as you can see over here, this is the Discord link which you can use, and I'm also going to paste this in the chat section at YouTube so that everyone can access this. Let me pin this message. All right. So this is the Discord link at which I paste all the problem links and all the announcement as well about when should we live stream and all those things. So let me paste the problem link as well in the announcement section. Just hold on and I'll be back. All right. Cool. So first problem done and dusted. Let me know if you want to solve more tree problems or do you want to solve more dynamic programming problems? I'll just wait for you guys to tell me in the comment section. How I removed that space? Well, all we were doing in the array was we wanted to know the violation. And in violation, you're comparing in the in-order traversal, you need access to the previous pointer. That's all you need. So we do not need actually the whole array. When you are processing the value, you just need the access to previous pointer, which we are able to get over here. Previous pointer, in the current iteration, you use the previous pointer value, do the comparisons, and then you update the value to the current pointer, and then go DFS right. Yeah, it actually makes sense, right? Over here also, you were doing add dot push underscore backer, right? So obviously, in the next iteration, this is the line at which you are inserting to the array, right? So this is the place where you do the previous pointer is cur. So that each time when you're about to do this, the last thing which was happened over here was this one, and that's why it's having the previous pointer value. So yeah, this makes sense now. All right, so we have a bunch of DP trees. Okay, I think a lot of people are saying DP. Yep, a lot of people are saying DP. That's fine. We can do a DP now, and then probably in the next live stream we can do trees again if you want. All right. So I think we should remove the tree and let's solve some medium problems on dynamic programming. Um, all right, so dynamic programming medium problems. We have solved jump game. Do you want to do jump game 3? Okay, a lot of people are, I think that's a good idea. Let me actually do that. So this is the chat section. Let me just see. Okay, we can create a poll. Okay. Uh, what topic do you want next? Let's set options. DP, trees, graphs, and binary search. That's also an interesting topic, I believe. Um, all right, just I will wait for a few seconds and let you participate in the poll, and then you can move forward based on whatever the decision is. I think we should remove this, otherwise. Let me remove this for a minute. So let's wait for a minute or two, and then we can, decide the winner topic, and let's proceed with that. Thanks to Rachit for mentioning about the poll feature in the chat section. I did not know about that. It's quite helpful. I think I have a question. Hey Rachit, the question for you. As far as I know, you are working. Yes, I do. I'm a full stack software developer. Um, how do you manage your on-call schedule with this? Well, in my team, we do have allocated, like properly hired support developers, which do this on-call schedule for us. However, since the responsibility is pretty high, sometimes in few of the projects we have to do the support ourselves. In which, if we get some issue uh, at night, we do have to go for that. But we already like have other people taking care of that for us. So that because of that, I can do such live streams and have a happy life, right? All right, I think it's time to bring back the results. And as usual, I think the winner is dynamic programming. I did not know that binary search is something which you are so much interested in. So, okay, so we have 154 votes, right? And what are the likes on this live stream? The likes are less than the people who are participating. So, guys, if you are already interacting with the content that we have on the channel, make sure to first hit the like button and also hit the bell icon. I'll wait for 10 seconds. You have two things to do: hit the stream and hit the bell icon. N987654321. Am I an engineering manager? Nope. I'm an SG3 right now. All right. I think okay. So we have still a lot of people are voting, I think, but I think it's tough to beat DP, and that's what we should proceed with. All right. Cool. Um, unique parts. This looks like I love problems which are implementation based. Let's see if this is good. Is it about a matrix? It's about a matrix. All right. Let's see what is the problem about. So it's saying that a robot is at the top left corner, M cross N grid. It can move either down or right at any point in time. The robot is trying to reach the bottom right corner of the grid, which is this one. How many possible unique paths are there? So it's saying that I'll just be back. I think I saw a lizard in my room. I'll just be back. Give me 2 minutes. Lizard break. Such things happen, right? I'll be back. I think it's on my table, I think. Just give me a moment. All right, guys, I'm back. Thanks to the skills that I have developed in my hostel life. Not only I just solved the problem, I think uh, I did not kill, but yeah, it's out of my room, so my problem is solved. It's for the other house members to worry about, right? All right, so where were we? So this is done. Unique parts, yeah. So I'll paste the problem link on the Discord first. Let me do that. So now let's move forward. Anyone is having any doubts? I think it's time to end poll. All right, let's move forward, guys. Unique paths M2N. First of all, I don't think we need a DP kind of thing. I think we can come up with a formula since there is nothing over here, no blockers. Like it could have an interesting problem if it's saying that telling the unique paths if there are certain cells in this grid which are blocked over which you cannot cross, right? At that point of time, since these locations of the blocked cells can be God knows anywhere, and the number of block locations can be a lot. So since it's like everything is plain, I think we do not need a DP kind of thing. I think it's very it would be easy to come up with a mathematical formula for this one. So let's see what can we do right now. So do we have a smaller example first of all? So okay, for 3 cross 2, it's saying it's 3, and 3 cross 2 would look something like this. Okay, I think this. So 3 cross 2, and how many ways? Well, one, two, three, one, two, three, one, two. Okay. So this. Mhm. Okay. So 3 ways, right? Right, down, 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 right, and down, right, down. Okay. Um, I think it should be. So first of all, let's do the DP kind of solution to solve this, and I think we should do the mathematical formula as well for this. Should be possible to do that. But let's see. First of all, what do we have? What are the constraints? Very small. That's fine. Okay, and it's guaranteed that the answer will be less than or equal to this. That's also fine. Very good. So since the unique paths can be a lot, it's very easy to overflow. But since the constraints are very small, the unique paths will be not that high that we need long int. So you have two choices. You can either go down, that's one choice, or the second choice is you can go right. Okay. So the thing is, when you're going down, you are at a new location, right? When you're going down, you are at a new location, and then you want to start counting the unique paths from that particular location to the end. And all those unique paths will be a part of the unique paths for M2N, right? Because all those paths starting from the down cell, they can simply contribute to this particular thing because I'm going down, and from there, all such paths are a valid path from this location itself. Similarly, when I'm going right, and all the unique paths from the right direction can be added to the unique paths of my m comma n location, because I'm going right, and then again I have a lot of paths from there, and the total number of paths for this will be the sum of all these. So you can return unique paths uh, when you're going down plus the unique paths when you're going right. So that's it's kind of a Fibonacci problem, I think. So when you're going down, what are the coordinates? Well, your m increases by 1, your n stays same. Otherwise, you can stay at the same row and go right. So this becomes this. And over here, what you can do is, okay, so this is m n. Okay, my bad. Let's have some function int go, and let's actually call. So this will go over here. This will become go. This will become go, and over here we return go 0 comma 0. Um, and then let's have some private variables, m comma n, and over here we can say m is m, n is n, and this will be helpful in handling base cases. So if m is greater than or equal to m, return 0. There is no way possible. Um, and then if n is greater than or equal to n, return 0 again. So this is what I have in mind. I think this should work. So I'm returning 0. Okay. So I am always returning 0, so that's not cool. I think when we are at the rightmost or the bottommost, we always have one choice. So let me just put that up. So if m is m minus 1 and n is n minus 1, return 1. This should be all. So whenever we reach to the bottommost row or to the rightmost column, we do not have any more choice. We just have to continue in the same direction until we reach the final cell. So yeah, this should work, I think now. And if you try to submit it, it will not work because the time complexity right now is exponential. We have not used memoization right now. Um, so let's actually do that. And I'll actually show you a cool way to quickly do this in Python. Um, but let's just do this for this right now. So how you can do DP over here is nothing but you can have vector int, actually pair of int DP. Over here you can say that DP dot resize. Um, the DP should have m. It should be vector of int um, n comma negative 1. So if I do this, over here I can say that int and answer is nothing but dp of mn. And if my answer is not equal to negative 1, I have already computed it, so I can return the answer. Else, before returning, I can say answer is this. So now if I try to run this, it should still work. Okay, okay, it's a pair, right? That's my bad. So it's working now. If I try to submit this, hopefully it will work and we will not get time limit error. So the runtime is real fast because we are using dynamic programming. So that's why it's really cool. If you, however, remove this, and over here, it's beautiful to capture this using a reference. And since we are using this as a reference, whatever you change or assign to answer, this gets updated. So before returning, we store that thing to our DP table so that next time when we encounter same state, we check that it's not negative one, which means we have done this work already and we return this. So this is where you are saving time. If you remove this line, you will get a time limit exceeded error because you're again and again doing the same work. So you're getting time limit exceeded, right? Uh, Now this is very common, I believe. In DP, it's quite easy to think in terms of recursion. So this should be the step one. This is the hard part. And step two is adding memoization. Um, the way to do that, as we have seen, is it doesn't take much time. It's quite easy, but in Python, it's super easy. Do you want, let me know in chat if you want to understand how to, like, how fun Python could be. Like, let me just have another poll. Do you want the clean and simple, or do you want the fun way to do this in Python? Or do you want to learn the fun way? Let me add a poll for this. So meanwhile, you answer that. Let me see what could be our next problem. I think unique paths 2 would be where we have some blockers, right? I hope so. Like in the grid, it should have some blockers that the cell is blocked. Here you go. Here is a rock, and probably you cannot stop. Yeah, there is some obstacle. Yeah, this looks a good problem now. So since you cannot go over here, there are exactly two ways for the Android to reach the star. It goes here, here, and then here, here. And I think one is wherever you have a one, it means there is an obstacle over there. So this could be a good problem that we can do. Um, what about the pole? Do we have something over there? Quite a lot of people are interested in this, I think. 139 votes. Let me wait for a couple of more minutes and then we can proceed. All right. Um, how is the live stream looking? Again, guys, I think not everyone has clicked on the like button. Do that. All right. I think we have the answer, but um, let me end the poll in just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. 80% people want me to do this, and that's why I am doing this. So let me move to the unique paths. Change this to Python. All right. Unique paths. So we had something like dev, I think, go, and we have. So this is Python 3 in which you can now do some kind of this thing in which that this is an end, this is an end, and it returns an end. So that because this is something that people generally complain that in Python you do not know in some huge project we never know what is the data type or something like that. So you can actually make this a bit better. However, TypeScript has really done a good job over there, but Python is also coming over there. All right, go. Do we need this thing? Let me just make it global. I think that would be better. So again, like if you are using like Go in coding interview, it's really bad. Do not do that. You can actually say count paths instead, count unique paths, or get unique paths because it's returning something. Uh, and then you can pass in the m comma n thing that we had. And over here, you can use global m comma n. And over here, you can say m is m, then n is n, right? And then you can say return, get unique paths, and you can pass in m comma n, right? So this is what we had discussed. And over here, as we had seen, if I think the base cases were something like if m is actually we do not need the one where m is exceeding that. So let's actually put something like if m is n minus 1 or n is n minus 1, return 1, right? Otherwise, you can do return, get unique paths, n plus 1 and n plus 1, right? So this is what we had initially, and just to confirm is this working, let's try to run the code and see if it's working or not. Okay, so I missed. I missed to delete the colon. So it's saying that name as n is not defined. Um, okay, is it because of something like this? I doubt that. Yeah, I don't think because of that. Um, what am I missing? It's been a while I'm writing code in Python. Uh, so n is defined over here. Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, actually, when I was writing this thing, it's not over here. My bad, my bad. You can say -1, -1. Yeah, so what I actually wanted to show this thing, what's happening over here is since you're doing this m comma n is mn, it's not actually working on these copies. Since it's an assignment operator, how Python works is it creates a local copy in this particular scope, right? So to change or to explicitly tell Python that we are working with the outer scope variables, you can actually say that this is global m and n. So now what happens is you are changing these variables, and now it should not complain about this thing. So when I was writing this thing, I actually had this in mind that I will talk about this, but I made a mistake myself. Yeah, so it's saying that recursion depth exceeded, right? Uh, it was not telling us in C++. Is it because of the edge cases? Is that is that it? Let me actually print them in once, just to make sure that we are not making any mistake first. What was the input? Can I see the input for this? But I think it's not able to. Um, what is the issue? I did not get that. Let me also print the global m and values. It should not be okay. Oh, it should be 0 comma 0 over here. My bad, guys. I don't think we need this. Just to show you guys the main thing, I'm wasting time. Sorry about that. So yeah, it's working fine, right? And if you try to submit this, it will get you a time limit exceeded error. Let's also verify that. So of course, it's getting us TLE. Now, how do you add memoization, right? You can again have those kind of map kind of things, and yeah, it's giving TLE. But now I want you to introduce. I want you to introduce you to something really cool. In just one line, we are going to fix this. We are going to add memoization and fix this TLE. Sounds great, right? How does it work? I think I have forgotten the syntax, but let me see if I can figure this out on my own. Right. I think Python 3. I think it's from. Let me just zoom in on the screen. Hopefully it's visible from func tools. Uh, I think it's or it's import func tools, something like that. And then func tools dot LRU cache. Yeah. So function dot LRU cache. That's the thing that I'm talking about. And if you want to understand how it works, well, you do not need to do any googling or something like that. You if you want to understand how it's working, you can simply do some really easy stuff like read the doc, or you can print things. All right, without bound. So how to use this, you can read about this over here. For example, f3.0 and f3 will be treated as distinct calls if type is true. Right. So it's a decorator. So first of all, I have to import. So from func tools, import LRU cache. And over here, we can do something like this. And if you pass in max size is, let's say, for example, 1, for example. Now, if I try to run the code, it's working. Now, if I try to submit, it's giving me a wrong answer. Uh, this is not what I expected. Um, okay, okay. All right, all right. So, can you understand why is it giving a wrong answer first of all? I know what's happening or what is wrong, but so what is happening is LeetCode is running our solution again and again. Um, and since our as the m and n values change, the LRU cache needs to be changed, right? M and n needs to be changed. So over here, now I do not, the thing is I do not know before, like over here, I want to say before every call to unique paths, just make sure that you clear the LRU cache. Now, how do we do that? I don't know that thing. Sorry about that. But if you do that, this will work, and in just one line, you can add the memoization kind of thing. Um, Actually, we can change the problem. Now, right now, the get unique paths is basically I am at this position and I have to go to the m and n values, right? These m and n. So this is not a pure function. This is how it we talk about, and this is why it's not functioning. I think this is a very good example that we have encountered. Uh, so what are pure functions and the benefit, right? So this function is dependent on m and n values, right? So pure functions, whenever you send in the same arguments, the output is always same. Right now, this is not a pure function, and like the same value, if you pass in 0, 0, you will get some answer, and when you change m and n values, you will get some different answer, right? But we can still make this pure and this will still work. How can we do that? Instead of going from 0, 0 to end, we can reverse that kind of thing. We can reverse the meaning of get unique paths. Right now, get unique path is saying that I am at small m small n. How many ways are there from this particular location to go to m comma n? I can reverse it. I can say that from this particular location, I want to go to 0 comma 0, right? I can do that kind of thing. And over here, the base case will be if m is 0 or n is 0, return 1. Over here, I pass in m comma n. This is a wonderful example, and you will just see the magic. Over here, this becomes this, and what else? Now it's pure function. Now we do not need this thing. We have solved everything. Uh, this is a great example. Just we were able to learn something really cool, I think. What are the constraints? Let me verify that. Yeah, this should work. Okay, why is that now? I'm returning 120. Okay, this is m minus 1 and n minus 1. That was my bad. I'm using zero-based indexing. And now if I try to submit this, I think it should work. Yep, it works now in Python. Was this cool or not? Just let me know in the comment section, right? Like you can always write the recursive functions, and just before submitting, you just add this line and bam, you're done. Was this cool? Let me add a pool. Come on, guys. This was really cool, right? Just because we learned something really cool, you have to do this now. You have to like the live stream, share this, share. I don't think you'll do that, but hit the bell icon. Come on, and subscribe if you have not done already. Do these two things for the really cool thing that we learned. Right? We have some haters. Kinnar Vijay Singh say my name. Kinnar Vijay, hi. How are you doing? I think a lot of people are amazed to see this, right? All right, guys. I have zoomed in on the screen. Yeah, it's I think a lot of people did like this. How many votes do we have? 120 votes. That's fine. All right, I'll end it over here. Around 90% of the population found this really cool. Uh, Sounds good. Uh, what else? Unique part two. All right, let's move to unique part two. Um, Let me add it in the Discord. And I think we can wrap it up after this. Let's actually do it quickly. We know a lot of things that are already done. So let's actually do this real fast. Okay, I think we should copy the solution from the previous one. I don't want to do the same work again and again. Let's use this. Um, okay, let's use this part. All right. Um, yeah. Uh, okay, return of so return go 0 comma 0, m is m, n is n, and over here, uh, let's also do this thing. All right, a lot of things have been done. Now, when we are doing this, we do have obstacles also, right? Yeah, that's what we had to solve. Let's actually store this into vector of. Okay, so we already have that. You can say the grid, and over here you can say that grid is obstacle grid, right? And now we can work with the grid over here. Otherwise, you had to pass this as an argument to the go function. I do not like to unnecessarily do that. So just to make life easy, and since we are already in a class, I'm utilizing a private data field for that. So I'm working on the grid, fine. This is fine. Now this is wrong, right? This is completely wrong because it might happen that you have an obstacle over here, right? And you cannot like, this is saying that whenever you reach the bottom row or the last column, just return one. There is only one way. However, there can be zero ways if there is a blocker in front of it. So this is not cool. What you can say is, if this and this is true, so we are already over here, then we can return one. I think I have a lot of insects coming into my room. That's fine. I'm an LG. All right, let's solve this. So this is one thing that we had solved. What else? What else? This is fine. Over here, things will change, right? How do you solve for the rock kind of thing? So if you encounter a rock, you can say return 0. So you can say if the grid at current location, if that's a rock, which means it's 1. So you can say, um, actually, like this is very confusing, right? What is if grid even? Like if you write such code in coding interviews, I do not like this. I want to do it something like this. What is rock? Well, I can say that um, const int rock is 1, right? And now this is making sense. If we encounter a rock, I can return 0. Um, Otherwise, I can do this kind of. Uh, okay, so int m is, let's also grid dot size, n is grid 0 dot size. Now this can crash if you send in an empty grid. So let me check the constraints. Okay, it's never empty. That's good. Wrong answer. Let me think it myself. Like I'm really, in a hurry, and I'm also not in a coding interview, so I am just using the submit. I'm exploiting the submit button. You should not do this uh, if you're practicing, right? Okay, let's see what's the problem over here. Yeah, there is one way. That's fine. Did I get the question right? First of all, I think I did get the question right. If we go out of bounds, we should return 0. This is good. This is also good. Only when we reach the last cell, at that point of time, we are returning a 1. Otherwise, we are doing such kind of things. I'll just turn off the AC and I'll be back. Give me a second. All right. Let me see what people are saying in the chat section. I'm obsessed with polls. What does that mean? Okay, what is the problem over here? Is anyone having any idea how many people are watching, first of all? Oh, we have a bunch of viewers. That's fine. Let me use some online help. Like, what is the problem over here, guys? Do you have any idea? It's kind of a debugging session for you. Like, this is how teachers used to do, right? This is a test for you. You have to tell me where is the problem over here. So let's see who from the chat finds the issue in this code. It's really fun to do this, first of all. Thanks, Paras. I love you too. Thanks, Harshit. Really appreciate the community that we are building over here. But we have to solve the problem. What can you do about this code? Where is the problem? Okay, so we are not clearing the answer DP, right? Answer, no, we are doing this. I don't know where is the problem. Um, if the last cell had a rock, is it possible? I don't think so. That doesn't make sense. Is it? If it's not mentioned, we will add that. Um, the bottom right corner is marked finish, as it's saying, right? So if it's marked finished, I don't think it can have. But anyways, if it can be the case, let's actually put that case. Um, return grid mn is not equal to rock. Damn it! Seriously. Okay, that's fine. Who mentioned about this? Anshul, I think, right? Yeah, and Aslam. Good observation, guys. Rakshit again, yeah, that's right. All right, cool. I think that ends the today's live stream. If you have any questions, I'll quickly answer a few of them, and then probably we can end the session to today's session. Again, guys, like you can go over here, educative.io/Rachit to enjoy a discount on top of the 40% discount that they have. They have a bunch of courses, which is something which I really like. Like when you are doing time pass, I actually prefer to utilize my time. And if we have some websites like this in which you can, pay once and then go through a lot of well-written courses, I think that's good. All right, any questions? Any questions, guys? And the Discord link, join that for a bunch of things. We do like, I think we have really cool things over here. We have a resume review section in which people post resume, and then you can basically like comment on other people's resume and also get feedback. This is good thing. The community is doing good work. The other thing is the interview experiences in which you can share, like talk about various companies and their interview experiences and share your interview experiences if you want. The look what I made section is about if you had made some cool project and you want to share, this is about that. And then announcement is of course very important, in which I share the schedule and I ask you guys, do you want a coding live stream tonight or not? And this is how it works. Confused between ethical hacking and software development, and have both. Abhay, it depends. If you are still in college, I think you have ample time to explore things, because like I think a lot of you who are watching this are from college, and let me also like let's use the poll. Are you still in college or less than 1 year experience? Actually, since it's July, probably, yeah, less than or equal to. So let me, it's like KYC, like know your audience, right? So the reason why I'm doing this, okay, is the poll submitted? No. So the reason why I'm asking this is if a lot of people are from college, I want to give some advice for the college people. So just want to know like who is my audience today? Okay, I think a bunch of people. Any mock interviews plan? Yeah, well, we can do that. Let me talk to a few of my industry connections and arrange mock interviews. I think this is also something which, uh, like the content of this channel is about coding interviews and all those things. So yeah, we can do mock interviews. Uh, if you have any like special request of some guests that you want to bring, let me know some names in the chat section. Off-campus strategy. Um, okay, so we still have. Okay, I was expecting a lot of people will be actually from college, but yeah, good to know that people greater than 1 year experience is also like doing the lead code thing and trying to, crack coding interviews. That's good. Can I do this daily and give a real life demo by getting placed by giving an interview? Uh, like, do you want me to do these sessions daily and then get a job? I already have one. And and then tell about how these sessions helped me. I'm conducting those sessions, and okay, this is weird. This can be interesting. I would love to do that. All right. Tips for campus placement as placements have started. Okay, I would really, like whoever it is, college or not, I think there is one thing which I definitely want to talk at this point of time. Since this is like a lot of people, I mean, almost all of you are actually preparing for coding interviews. Um, very important tip, and it's really important. Okay, just listen with patience. Okay, so how should I put it? Let's say I have also conducted a lot of interviews, and a lot of talented people who might be really good at competitive programming. That's fine, but it's not needed, first of all. But I've seen that a lot of good programmers actually, even when they're doing preparation, the problem is when it comes to interviews, we have just 45 minutes to judge you. Your intro is very important, first of all. And this is really, very cool trip. What I have seen is people will spend 90% of their time in just doing lead code and DSA problems, right? In coding interviews. It makes sense, right? But the problem is you should actually practice at least b- like I'm not sure about the percentage, but let's say 50% of your time should go into communication. I've seen a lot of good programmers, they might know how to solve things, but they're not able to communicate or like when they're solving things and explaining, they're automatically assuming a lot of things that they have already sorted the array. They skip steps when they're talking. They do not the other person is not in your head. They do not know what you're thinking. It's important to take small steps, talk slowly, write code faster, but talk slowly, explain slowly, but write code faster. This is one thing, right? This is very important. This generates a lot of clarity when you're explaining things slowly. Like, I will call this function, it will return me exactly this. I will use that. I see sub problems over here, so I'll use a recursive function. When you're using a recursive function, write a comment on top of it that what exactly it is returning, right? So this is something which will really change the results into your favor. Almost everyone is doing this. I want you to do this. How can you do that? It's actually best to actually record your screen. I'm using OBS Studio. It's an open source tool. You can use that. It works on it's cross-platform tool. So you should record your screen. You should have your webcam in front of you. You can do everything in OBS Studio. And using that, you should actually record your screen and your face when you're solving problems and you're trying to explain things. Just do it for 5 problems. You will actually make a significant change in your interview results. Okay, so do that thing also. Record screen and view it later while solving problems. Just do it for 5 times. It because a lot of like as Newton says, right? The inertia problem. It since you have never done this setup, it will look like a huge cost, and you will just keep on postponing things. But I think this will really, really useful in improving yourselves and actually seeing where you are lacking in terms of communication. So this is really cool. Again, this is 45 minutes. Your intro is important, in which like one mistake that I've seen is uh, a lot of experienced candidates I have seen, um, if they are like really well into competitive programming and they have not done much of development, their intro and their resume already talks or magnifies that kind of thing. So the interviewer, like if you're good at CP or competitive programming and not good in development, when I'm interviewing you and you're solving competitive DSA problems, I'm not that much impressed. Like, okay, you nailed it, but I'll try to ask or gauge what are your development skills, right? So in intro, do not like over amplify your strong points. I would say that be a bit subtle in your introductions. Like if you're really good at competitive programming, just say that, yeah, I enjoy problem solving. I sometimes try to do data structures, algorithm based problems, but don't like I have done a lot of competitive program. I'm this rating, I'm that rating. Do not like have that impression. Like do not give them your strong point so easily. When they are already asking you coding interview problems, so if you solve that, they will automatically be impressed by this. Because I've seen this that when the reverse thing happens, when people who are really good at development but not so good at competitive programming or data structures or algorithms, when those people are able to solve coding interview problems, that time interviewers are like, okay, man, this is great. They are already good. They have some development projects, and they were really not good at all these DSA problems because in their introduction they are like, I don't enjoy a lot of competitive programming. I try to solve real world problems, and they try to do all such things. And in that fashion, the interviewers are like really impressed in that sense that they have all basically be subtle in your introductions. Do not like overhype your strong points so that because you're taking away the factor of impressing someone. So I'm not saying that just say that I know nothing. Like don't be a Jon Snow over there, but yeah, I think you got the gist of it. All right. What else do we have? System design, roadmap, and resources. I think I can talk about system design a lot now. based on my experience, I have good experience with all these things. So, but I think it will take a lot of time, and I already have some things planned, and I will add this in my backlog. But yeah. Uh, so system design for junior developers, I don't think it's that important. However, if because since you want to do software engineering, I would say that startups are a good way to actually learn the skills required to clear these interviews. Because the thing is, if you do not want to join startups, you can do open source. Because it's all about trying to see how the code is structured, how classes are written, um, and if not classes, if you're using functional programming, how the code is structured to, and how CI/CD works and all those things. Once you have experience with all these tools, how to deploy things, what is a virtual machine, and all those things. Actually, this is interesting. I can do this. Let me. I can actually start doing all such things. Yeah, that's. I can. I have a bunch of ideas coming to me. Like I have. I can show you my virtual machines and how I'm deploying things. Like I have this website, right? How to deploy all like what is DNS and all those things. I think these are the basic building blocks that you should know, and probably I can do this. So yeah. Um, Anything else? All right, I think it's 10:18. Time to wrap up things, and I'll see you in the next session. Till then, take care, guys. Happy coding, and